Enjoy horror comics.
Okay, last thing for today. Martin Scorsese says fight back against comic book movie culture.
Yikes.
By supporting Dark Knight trilogy director Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, like, fucking guy. Oh my god. Makes it hard to love him.
Martin Scorsese has never been shy about expressing his negative opinion on comic book movies. More about how Marvel Studios' output dominates the marketplace. The legendary director of Goodfellas, The Irishman, and Taxi Driver has now taken another dig at the omnipresence of comic book movie and franchise culture in a new GQ profile. Scorsese was asked about his previous comments on the subject and made it clear he believes comic book films may ultimately contribute to smaller independent and art house movies being erased from the cinematic landscape completely. The danger there is what it's doing to our culture. Because there are going to be generations now that think movies are only those. That's what movies are. They already think that, he continued, which means we have to then fight back stronger. And it's got to come from grassroots level. It's got to come from filmmakers themselves. And you'll have, the Safdie brothers. You'll have Christopher Nolan, you know what I mean? And hit him from all sides. Hit him from all sides and don't give up. Let's see what you got. This rant is not very well articulated. Go out there and do it. Go reinvent. Don't complain about it. But it's true because we've got to save cinema. Says the guy whose new movie is Apple TV. It's going to be on Apple TV and cinema. While it's easy to understand where Scorsese is coming from, the irony of asking cinematographers to fight back against comic book movie culture by showing support for the director, one of the most iconic superhero movie trilogies of all time, has not been lost on many, including fellow director Scott Derrickson. Fight back against comic movie culture by supporting the director of the Batman trilogy. Did he do a little meme or something, I guess?
That's funny.
So I do think that manufactured content isn't really cinema. It's almost like AI making... Jesus. And that doesn't mean that you don't have incredible directors and special effects people doing beautiful artwork, but what does it mean? What do these films, what will it give you? Aside from a kind of consummation of something and then eliminating it from your mind, your whole body, what is he talking about?
So I have an opinion.
Well, let's hear it.
I have a thought. I feel like Martin might be waking up in the morning and forgetting that he's saying shit. So, like, the day before, he said some shit in an interview, kind of forgot, woke up the next day. It's like, you know what? I really don't like those comic book movies. Saying the exact same thing. I think it's just silly at this point because the numbers show exactly what's going on. People don't want to go watch shitty, poorly written, poorly produced superhero movies, just like they don't want to go see shitty, poorly produced movies in general.
Yeah.
And it's, you know what I mean? Like, do you want to count maybe on one hand how many, like, there's amazing movies that didn't make bank at the box office?
Yeah.
2, maybe? 2 or 3? And...
well, there's a lot of good movies that don't make money at the box office.
Yeah, but that's all the time. I'm talking about, is there an increase? Is there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think so. And unfortunately, for Martin...
for Marty...
you're in a good position, babe. You can pull in any actor or actresses that you want.
Yeah.
But then, instead... you still use the same fucking 3 twats over and over and over again. And sorry, they're great. And they can act out the wazoo. But we're tired. And now I gotta watch Leo fuck a Native American woman. Like, why? Choose someone else. By the way, don't make it Timothy Chalamet. I'm done.
You can't be sick of Chalamet
He's been
already.
like 97 characters in the last fucking 2 years. Like, please. Can we just fucking, you know what I mean? Expand. Do whatever.
I think this kind of comes from a couple of different points of angst for him.
Sure.
One, it's probably made it harder for... It's made it harder for people breaking into the... directors and writers breaking into the business.
Yeah.
Or who have had 1 or 2 movies, they do okay, but they can't get financing. Because it's not...
100%.
There's not a a hook. It might be a good movie, but no one's going to go see it.
Do you know how many people are getting asked, what's your TikTok at?
Oh, really?
Seriously, what's your TikTok at? What's your TikTok numbers or whatever? If somebody asked me that,
0.
I would laugh because I'm like, I didn't even 0. What
I think another... I'm not sure if he's ever seen a superhero movie, but there are people from his...
the good ones.
There are people from his generation that, and that's true of people today, that think comic books have nothing to say. They're for kids. They don't comment on politics. They don't comment on social issues. They have, there's nothing to take away from it than, like he said, you see it and it's out of your mind already. There's nothing to make a point. And that's not true, and it's never been true. So I think maybe whether he's seen some good comic book movies or not, or just refuses to see them, I think he thinks that, at least about comic books, that they have nothing to say, and then that makes any other product that comes out of a comic book inferior to, I have something to say in my movies because they're original content.
Yeah.
And why smaller movies are doing bad, I'll give you one reason. Because I hate going to the theater because no one shuts the fuck up. I cannot stand people talking in a movie, and that's why I don't go as much. We would love to go see smaller movies or not big tentpole movies in a theater, but no one will be quiet. So we don't go. We will rather watch it at home, pay the $20 to rent it at home when it comes out on video, and maybe we don't get to see it right away, but that's fine. We can enjoy it without people constantly talking. That's honestly one of the reasons why we don't go to movies really anymore. And when we do, we find enough people of our friends to rent out the entire small theater.
I feel like, now we're just getting down to terrible, sections of humanity.
The nitty gritty.
But I feel like a certain amount of people, could be anyone, have completely lost the aspect of manners.
Yeah.
Basic. Like, I'm talking basic. And any recollection for any, like, universe outside of, like, right here.
Yeah.
So if it's happening outside of this, they're completely checked out. And I've noticed this more and more as I've gotten older, and I've dealt with people younger than myself. They're very aware of, social issues and everything else, but at the same time, they're so clued out from any basic shit.
Common courtesy.
It's completely lost. I haven't been lucky enough that I've had anyone like talkity talk like a lot in a movie recently. I've had a few people use their phones a lot. They put it on low, brightness and whatever. The issue that I have is I don't think it's talking for sure, but with certain things, with people with accessibility issues and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, say the movie's too much, they turn their phone on and they put earbuds in or something, right? They're just hanging out with their friends. They don't want to leave. So, something like that. Same goes for, you turn on your phone to, put something in there because there's some type of sensory issue. Yeah. There's so many things now that you're like, people are aware of, but at the same time, they're not aware of. And you have to make that crazy decipher between Kate, get out of here. between a a genuine need versus someone who's just a piece of shit. So it's, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know if this kid who's 14 years old has an issue where, you know what I mean? Like he has to do something to, hang out with his friends at the movies versus a group of, 3 teenagers talking amongst themselves, throwing popcorn at each other. You know what I mean? Like it's completely lost. Like you can decipher maybe a little bit, but you can't be a judge. So it's very tough.
Like the last movie I went to was Blue Beetle. It was on a Friday afternoon, like 3 weeks after it'd been out.
Yeah.
We normally, if we do go to a movie, don't go to the theater in Sarnia because the seats are terrible. But I went to it on my own. Kate didn't have any interest in seeing it. Yep. She was doing stuff, so I went. So there's a 200 gigantic theater. There's maybe 10 people in it. Okay. And 4 of them wouldn't shut the fuck up the entire movie. So I was at the top. They were at the top. I had to move all the way down to the bottom because they wouldn't be quiet. Like, the odds of like 10 out of 10, 15 people and 4 of them are talking the entire time. I'm out.
It's crazy. That's crazy. That I mean, those odds are insane.
I go on a Friday, 3 weeks after the movie's out, hoping that no one will be in the theater. I get less than 10% of the entire capacity of that theater, and almost 50% of them are talking.
So I think at that point, I mean, even if it was me, I would end up mentioning something. I think you know what I mean? After, 10 or so minutes or whatever, I would.
Do you mean to them or the ushers?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know what the order of, I mean, technically it would be the usher first.
Yeah.
But if I was close to them, like super close, I'd probably just lean over and be like, but I can say that recently, last year, we were at a movie and this person turned their what the fuck was it? They turned their phone on. Yeah. They turned their phone on. The brightness was cranked, and I think 10 minutes had passed or whatever, and then audio started to play on their device. And I threw popcorn. I threw like 2 kernels that I didn't want, by the way. I don't sacrifice kernels that I eat. There's 2 that I didn't like, and I fucking tossed them. And then when I did, other people tossed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just small stuff like that. Yeah, it's hard to gauge. Wow, is this an X?
So the co-founder sent me this. It's the oatmeal. It's
the oatmeal. Sorry.
Movie theater layout. A toilet of shame above the screen.
I like it. Yeah.
Are you currently going through puberty, wearing a diaper, or cooking up snarky remarks to yell at the screen? Any of all the above? Yes, you go on a sound class dome. You can watch the movie at the big kids table. Yeah. I don't know. I understand his point. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a hypocrite by taking Apple TV's money. He's going to put his movie on streaming, like,
I feel like he just doesn't care anymore. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think, like, so when's the release date for that? October 20th.
Yeah.
But does it release at the same time?
No. He wouldn't let that happen.
In theaters on October 20th. When does it go on Apple TV?
Like, what, the end of November or something? Fucking December or some shit?
Following his exclusive theatrical run.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, right, so minimum it's going to do 6 weeks. Minimum.
But will it... Oh, no. See, Apple TV says October 6th, too. Wait. Following its global theatrical run. Right, but... Sometimes they just do it for Oscars, right? So they get nominated. They'll do like a week or two, but
Yeah.
maybe he did talk them into a full run, which would be 6 weeks at least.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but again, 6 weeks.
Yeah. So you know what I'm going to do, Marty? I'm going to wait and watch it at home because it's a 4-hour fucking movie. Like, and sure, I subscribe to Apple TV. It's like $6 a month. It's nothing. But I'm not paying for that in the theater. I'm not going to pay $30, $35 for a 4-hour movie. And I can't guarantee people won't shut up about it. Anyways. Okay, so that's been our live stream this week. Appreciate everyone.
Nothing but positivity.
Make sure you check out uslcomics.com. New listings going up daily.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
some good ones.
Well,
some
you
juicy
know what?
ones.
Quickly, I'll show. You know what? I'll just show this one. So this is something Epic does a lot of fun covers.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that?
Yeah, the corn cover. Oh my god, that's dope.
Yeah, so I picked that one up. It's the series actually
It's pretty cool.
pretty good, but yeah. Anyways, we'll be back next week, probably. Okay, later.
Yes.